Before we begin, this audio contains mentions of self-termination. With that warning, please enjoy. I thought I told you to go back to the station and get backup. Why are you still here? Oh. Hey. Yeah, I'm fine. And I'm glad you are too. But that still doesn't excuse what you just did. You went against my orders, and that could land you a demotion, you know. But seriously, why are you still here? Better yet, how did you get here? The collapse cut us both off. Don't try and deflect the question, Deputy. This is serious. So, when you tried to leave, the hatch just led you further down into this place? How? That shouldn't be... That can't be possible, can it? Oh, this? It's a compendium written by some guy named Dr. Nisquam. It contains information on weird folklore creatures some kids would dress up as on Halloween. We should probably find a way out of here. Oh, guess I'm following you. Oh, what do I seem so... Mind your own business, partner. I will not have to tell you anything eventually. Not even back at the station. Hey, Deputy. I won't tell you anything, but do you think you can help me, burn this book? Because it's old, and the pages are very worn to the point they're barely readable. But I have to admit, the readable parts on this are really, really detailed on these creatures. I mean, each one is 2 to 3 pages long. The roaring, the sliders. Man, these names are very bland for creatures that look straight out of folklore. I bet you can make a lot of good horror movies out of this stuff. Don't get me wrong, that extraterrestrial movie was a good movie, but the rest, just cash grabs if you ask me. But these, they could get a lot of movies with the basic info that we have. Stay calm. None of these are real. Just make sure the deputy gets out alive. Oh, what the? This one is different than the rest of the pages. It's a story. It's titled The Story of the Risen. Let's see what it says. The 7 Angels. A doctrine many know, but what people haven't heard is there are 10 stories for another time. Perhaps one angel stood out among the 10. An archangel. One unknown to the world, but known in heaven. They were the closest one to God, above Gabriel, above even God's own son. They helped in the creation of everything. When God couldn't think of what to make, the angel gave him ideas, and as time went on, the two grew closer, eventually growing a friendship that could never be shattered. Or so it was thought. But one day, God started growing more distant. He was drowning in his job of watching over the earth, and the archangel was focused on the work in heaven. The two visited less and less until eventually they stopped. After a while, the archangel was called up to the throne of God, where they were tasked to destroy humanity after they had failed God. But for once, the archangel refused. God and them had spent so long together. They gave God the ideas for lots of things he created, and they even aided in the creations. And yet, here God sat, the only friend of the archangel, the one they trusted enough to the point of doing almost anything. And here they were, telling the archangel to destroy what they both worked so hard for. The archangel could not allow it, and performed an action no one dared. They directly defied God, and for it they were cast down into a place no one could find them, infinity itself. And although God believed they deserved it, that was not true. As time went on, not only did God not forget the archangel, neither did heaven. The archangel was known for their kindness, and because of that, heaven and even hell acknowledged the kindness and forgivingness better than God, and even God admitted to such. So, the guilt started eating away at him. Slowly, heaven came to learn about God's deed, and slowly, they began to hate him for it. In time, they rose up. Not even his right hand or his son could save him. Both were against him, but God was content. He punished someone unlawfully and unfairly because they didn't follow through his plan to end what they had created. He was disappointed his word was not law, and in that fear, he wanted to destroy his creations, neglecting his friend, punishing them over something he didn't want to do himself. Yet they refused to, and this was his justice for his actions. Yet he was glad. As the doors of his throne room burst open, God said his final goodbyes before, with a single slash of Gabriel's sword, the head of God rolled off of his throne. The white marble of his temple was stained a crimson red as heaven began to collapse, along with all of creation. In that collapse, the gateway between infinity and creation opened. As the archangel stepped through and took God's place on the throne, the crumbling stopped, as a new God was crowned, and all of creation was saved. That is sad. Who would have guessed God was a flawed being? Deputy, you okay? You stopped, and you look like you're either about to cry or break something. What are you pointing? Isn't that your room? I mean, the photo is heavily distorted, but I recognize that face. What is that doing here? Deputy, what are you... How did you... Yes, I knew. Yarrum was a childhood friend of mine. How could I not know? Yarrum is where I got my obsession with paranormal things, though I still don't believe in them. He was like a brother to me after my biological one was murdered, so when he moved here to Medell to see me, it was a dream come true. But as time went on, he witnessed Haro's cases, and then he found out Haro was my nephew and was blood related to me. So we drifted apart, seeing each other less and less, until that fateful day. I was investigating a local gun shop for traces of Haro, as his quote-unquote death was still fresh on our hands, and we didn't believe it. But when I saw the list of buyers looking for traces of someone who knew, or at least encountered the civilian Haro, I noticed Yarrum's name. All he had purchased was a Glock 17 and a single 9mm. He hadn't even purchased the round, technically. He didn't want to buy a whole box for one bullet, I'm guessing, so he just asked. And I guess the store clerk gave him one for free and just put it on the receipt as one bullet. Shouldn't have done that. I knew what he was doing, so I rushed to his home and found him on the floor. He had long since left, and next to him was a journal and sketchbook. It detailed every moment of his life, down to his final thoughts. I won't go in depth, but pretty much his mental health after his family issues was terrible. I managed to lift him up, but then when he found out I was related to Harrow, all that trust shattered, and he decided to end it all. I couldn't deal with the guilt, and because that was happening during the time period of the disappearances, I blamed it on those instead of owning up to it. But now I want to know, how do you know about any of these, Deputy? Better yet, why is it you seemingly knew everything that was going to happen before it did? In the case of Gabriel, we split up in the church, yet for some reason, you knew where I was when I witnessed that tape. Then with the case of Harrow himself, you chose such a specific house, as if you knew he would be there. I'm guessing it was you this whole time behind the disappearances. Your silence only proves my point. Tell me, liar, how and why? How did you do so much in such a short period of time? And why? What did we ever do to deserve this? We trusted you, and you broke that, like our hearts. Now, what is this? Some kind of statue? That is the deputy's name. As above, so below. What you reap is what you sow. What you give comes back threefold. As above, so below. A crimson red, a holy white, and darkest night. Look deep into your mind. Fear is what you shall find. It's time to say goodbye. I'll see you next time. What the hell is that? Old songs. Demons with a large arm and a tiny arm. They lack intelligence, attacking anything they see that they don't like. Despite their massive size, they can outspeed a bullet train by 100 miles. Why is it just...
Target identified. Badge number 337G3. ID, Scratch Lilin. Sex, female. Age, 29. Height, 5'9". Description, white hair, gray eyes. Sports a slender build with a pair of amber earrings and a talisman necklace bearing the holy symbol of Zarhamla. Blood type, B positive. Current objective, kill on sight.
What the hell? What was that? Where am I? Listen here, and listen well. Whatever you are. I don't know who you are, or where here is, or even how I got here, but you had better... Deputy? No, it can't be. That voice, it... Never mind, it is you. I know that grin You have a lot of explaining to do, Deputy. What the hell is this crazy place, and why do you have wings? Well, if I had to guess, I'm either dreaming or you're some divine entity. With what happened to me within the past hour, that answer does not surprise me. I trusted you. And now I see I shouldn't have. Yes, okay, I would have thrown you in a psych ward if you told me you were a fucking god when we met. But you should have shared that info with me when all the weird shit here in Medell started happening. You still didn't answer my other question. What is this place? The Lake of Limbo. What do you... Okay. Maybe I should apologize as well. I shouldn't pry for personal info if I don't have to, but I'm still mad you not only withheld this information from me, but also the fact you kidnapped and most likely killed nearly 50,000 plus people. Half of them being children. I still need to punish you for unlawfully killing them. Why do you want me to look in your eyes? They all did. Still, though, showing me all the terrible things everyone you killed did doesn't excuse you from punishment. You still committed a federal crime. Many, many crimes. Those acts cannot go unpunished, even for a divine entity such as yourself. Hey, you're not leaving. While I can't excuse what you have done, I cannot ignore the good things you have done. Or the promise I made to you back when I promoted you. So we need to come to an agreement. Since no one in Medell knows what you actually are, I could kill your mortal form and put everyone else at ease. But that doesn't mean you're off the hook from me. You need to make up for every single kill that you did and right your wrong. Though, I cannot offer anything in return. So, I am selfishly asking you for something, and I can't even return the favor I keep the promise. If I can't do that, what's the point in making it? I'm offering myself as a host. It's clear to me you're not okay with nothing. I saw your wings droop, and they even seemed to wither and turn slightly black. So I'm offering myself. I know you've enjoyed every second with me, though you never showed it. I always noticed your gaze lingered on me, even after I saw you looking at me. Furthermore, you had a very faint yet genuine smile every time you saw me. So, I know you'll accept this offer. The only question is, can you accept the fact that you want to take the offer? That's what I thought. We can sweeten the deal for each other as time goes on, or rearrange some parts if need be. But for now, this is our arrangement. Take us back to the mortal realm so we can go through with it. There's the deputy I know. I've missed that small and cute face. Never thought that on a Saturday night I would be figuring out the punishment for a god. But here we are. Now, as punishment for lying to me and everything else you've done, we're even. So, you'll be watching me from now on. That is both creepy and comforting. Don't worry, I won't slander your name like Haro's. I'll give you a good farewell. The deputy, you, at least. I'll figure out some lie on how you died or betrayed me or something to justify me shooting and killing this form of you. Probably not betrayed. That is not a good case. Well, see you real soon, Deputy. Today is a tragic day. While it has only been a few weeks since they joined, it was a fun time. But sadly, they weren't as innocent as I seemed. The deputy who I personally appointed revealed to me that they were the reason behind the disappearances. Then, when I found them, they had tragically taken their own life. While to most, if not all of us, it may seem justified of them to do so. So we need to realize it's not all their fault they were led down that dark path. It was the fault of their parents and the society they lived in. While yes, they need to take responsibility, it was the environment which built them into this monster. They were a worse case of Yarrum Mada, but sadly, unlike Yarrum, who found their way here in Medal at a young age, the deputy had to live on their own for a long time. And when they got here, the burden of expectations we put on them was enough to break them, and caused the disappearances before taking their own life. I've decided to reveal the truth to everyone here. Yarrum wasn't killed during the deputy's rampage of disappearances. But we killed Yarrum. I will not go into detail, but I must repent for what I have done. I covered Yarrum's suicide as a disappearance, and I will not do the same here. The deputy ended themselves, and it was the fault of society. We need to do better. I know we can. And it starts with rebuilding. Good night, everyone. Here's to hoping tomorrow will be better. I'm glad we could lay your case to rest. I hope my body suffices so far. Good. I'm glad. Oh, I'm not uncomfortable. Well, kind of, but not because of you. I'm just trying to get used to the feeling of a divine entity right behind me. Actually, you're kind of gripping my heart, or soul, or whatever it's called, pretty tight. Yeah, that's better. I'm going to need a lot of getting used to this feeling. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's all this about? You notice me shivering? I guess I can't really hide from your omnipotent eyes. Your wings are so soft. Like a weighted blanket and some sort of spider silk. Yeah, you can tell me anything. Hey, you're stuttering a lot and your heart rate sped up drastically. Okay, hey, okay. No need to get defensive. Just pointing out what I saw. That has got to be the worst confession I've ever heard. You're a god. How do you have anxiety around females? Hey, no need to be so awkward or embarrassed about it. Hey, get back here. I'm not done yet. Everyone fucked up horribly around their crush at some point. So just relax and I'll quit it. God, you're a dumbass. And you're my dumbass. Hey guys, Scratch here. I am recording this before I do any editing because I do want to remember to include the note that TPA added. This was the last episode of the Fallen from Grace series, and thank you, TPA, for making this. I am so proud of you for dealing with me um, about these scripts and for just writing such a great thing. I have not read the note that TPA wrote, so we're gonna go ahead and experience it together. Outro, a note from myself to the viewers. A bittersweet end to a passion project I started on September 9th. Yeah, it's October 13th as of recording. Thank you all for dealing with my crazy scripts I made before the Fallen from Grace series, which is what I named the series. I won't stop writing anytime soon, but for now, I got a big project out of my way. I plan to make more series in the future, but for now, let's start off slow. I don't want to break Scratch. Yeah. Series really take it out of me for some reason. They seem like a lot more effort than normal videos. Back to it. Though if you all want it, I can make a bonus script. It's really up to you all if you want to see that. As for this series itself, if it wasn't obvious enough, I took inspiration from a few analog horror series, specifically the Mandela Catalog. Again, thank you all for enjoying this series. Dash to protective all. That was lovely. That was lovely. Love you, TPA. Love you, viewers, for listening. Thank you for listening. But yeah. Oh, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Love Enchanter with comments. And you made this far, so why not subscribe? Join the Patreon and the Discord. And yeah. Bye bye.